Hi everyone, Anita Shortland here again with week 2 of my studio vlog or artist vlog. Last week I spent a little while putting together some footage and then a whole Sunday well into the evening editing it and making a very short 15-minute video. I know people who do this all the time will be laughing right now because yeah. Anyway, I'm pushing on. I hope to get better and quicker as I go because I won't go on and on about how busy my week is because we're all busy, right? But what I'm hoping is that this weekly process will not only keep me motivated and inspired and encouraged, but hopefully for all of you who are also creatives, maybe struggling to find time to create, that it will help inspire and encourage and motivate you as well. Last week I showed you this composition that I had played around with that I was quite happy with, but it was just over a really old sort of sketch and you know, it had lots of crazy marks and stuff, which lots of my work does. I played around a little bit more during the week after work with the composition, just looking at the values, just using some grey scale Tombow markers, and also playing around with a bit of colour. This is obviously a very vibrant blue. It was the only blue sort of Tombow that I had, but what I really liked about it was that the composition to me works better with this shape down here cropped off. And again, some of you are going to be thinking, duh, that's kind of composition 101, but sometimes it's good to play around. What else have I been up to this week? Yesterday was absolutely gorgeous day. I spent some time out and about sketching just around the local area. I started out sort of collecting tree shapes, and then there was some fabulous birds. Of course, they wouldn't stay still, but I also started collecting some bird shapes, and there are just some little birds there on the rocks, some rock shapes, really interesting, and rocks and birds. Just sketching out some compositions. It got really windy and I was hungry, so I came home. Okay, so then I used that sketch, this one here, when I came home to play around and do a little mixed media study, which is this here, which I did using Tombow marker, gouache, and it's Artist Spectrum gouache, and ink pencils, Derwent Inktense pencils. So I'm pretty happy with the composition, although again I think this shape here might look better if it goes off the frame, so that might be something that I play with a little bit. But something I thought I would share a little bit about is the colour palette that I used for this, for those who are interested. I find colour mixing fascinating, and if you're a creative you probably do as well. So I just wanted to show you my gouache palette. I only have 4 tubes of gouache. I have a primary yellow, a primary magenta or red, and a primary blue. And you can mix all kinds of colours, including browns, you know, fairly natural greens, and something that's very close to black. So if I put this black next to it, you can see that it's not quite black. It's like a very dark browny purple, but it's close enough to black for me. You do go through a lot of white if you like to use gouache in a really thick and opaque way, which I do. And then of course in here there's also a little bit of colour that you can see from the Tombow markers and the Inktense pencils, but I think sometimes when you look at these 3 colours you think, oh, you know, they're too bright, or I can only mix a really narrow range. In theory you should be able to mix pretty much anything from those colours, so I try and push myself to do that wherever I can, and I enjoy the challenge. I hope you found that interesting. It's just a few snippets of what's been going on in my studio, my art practice during this week, in the evenings and on the weekend, wherever I can. Pleasure to share it with you, and I hope that you will take up the challenge to do what you can in the time that you have this week to do something that you love.